a coach for the writers who want to publish and make them their books the bestsellers. So thanks, Snehal, for taking time out for this. So who are we talking about? Who's her in this particular series? And can you talk about this particular series and review? What's your review about it?
Um, if I have to start off, I'm going to say it's something that is definitely worth watching on repeat. And in Behind Her Eyes, who is it about? I think the author has done an amazing job in terms of letting us guess who that actual her is, because it's a romantic comedy come triangle come mystery come thriller series. If you have read the book by Sarah Pinborough, I think the book came out in 2017 or 2018, a novel called Behind Her Eyes. And if you have read it, you exactly know what you're expecting in this series, to be very honest. But it starts, or it has a combination of a divorced single mother and a couple who is married for over 10 years, and then that triangle, which seems like a normal triangle, but it's not a simple geometry. It's complicated. Though it sounds basic, it is not basic at all. You feel that you know what is going on, and you feel that you can predict what's going to happen next, but that's where the twist comes in, and you feel that throughout the entire series. So um, I can guarantee you that you will start watching and then you will watch the whole thing all over again just to understand what did you really watch. So it's and you can do that immediately. Like you can watch the series and watch it again, like next day again on repeat, and it's worth it. That's how I would say Behind Her Eyes is created. It's just 6 episodes, um, and it has everything right from flirting to the romantic triangle, as I said, to then it moves into different genres of a little bit of comedy and then a little bit of revenge, and then there is this mystery which actually takes you off at the in the last episode, last 15 minutes, but you want to watch the entire thing to get there. So that's Behind Her Eyes for you. So if you have ever watched movies like Sixth Sense,
Mm-hmm.
The Sixth Sense, or The Usual Suspects, or somewhere it also touches a little bit with Alice in Wonderland. So there's a lot about dreams and uh, so much more. So yes, that's my review. A series that you can binge watch and repeat binge watch again with your family with a tub of popcorn, and yeah, it's a good weekend time spent.
So I've seen the trailer. I've not got a chance to watch the series, but it looks like a suspense thriller, and rest of the things you spoke about. So is there comedy also? Because that's something which you mentioned, but was really missing in the trailer.
Um, so it starts with a romantic comedy. It does have that essence of romantic comedy to some extent, but it's in bits and pieces. They've balanced it beautifully with everything that is happening, because there is a lot that is happening, and while it is moving in the present, they have very beautifully shown, while it's about developing new relationships and exploring that, it very beautifully goes in the past as well, in bits and pieces and flashbacks, and in that they have managed a little bit of humor. It's not laugh out loud humor at all, but it will bring that smile to your face kind of thing. And it's interesting because generally when there are two women and a guy, it is always about the guy being the center of everything, and this is not what it is. For example, Louise is the divorcee mother, with and Adèle and David are the couple, but it starts with, say, Louise meeting David and something sparks there, and then eventually Louis meets Adele, who is the wife, and then they build an amazing relationship. And then you're like, okay, where is this going? Whose side? And then Louis keeps moving between who does she want to support, and there is that intense romance at the same time, that that pain that you can see, but you don't know what exactly and where exactly it comes from. So it's a great combination of multiple genres put together.
Okay. So where is this available?
Netflix.
Okay.
So it's a it's a limited series with just 6 episodes and I think an hour long each one. If you can promise yourself to not be tempted and read the end, and you can stay along with the story, it's definitely worth your time.
Okay.
And
Who should you
and
watch it with? Is it, with kids, or you should definitely watch it with your spouse?
with kids, I'm not sure at all, to be very honest, Nami. But yes, with spouse, you can definitely watch. And I did that, so I watched it, and then I was like, okay, it's interesting. I cannot let my husband miss out on this one. So I binge watched it again with him. Initially, he was like, I have no idea what's happening, and I'm so no. He's not interested in romantic comedies, but the thriller kept him going. And as I said, the last episode was like, okay, it was worth it expression that that I got. So yes, that's what I would say. With your spouse, partner, or best friend, definitely a good watch.
Okay. So, you know, there are a lot of moods, a lot of mood swings we go through in a day. So when should you watch it, and what's the right time? Because this is a thriller, and this goes on for a long time because it's a series. So what's your style of watching, binge watching series like this, and what time you should watch?
So I am a binge watcher, so I may not be the right person to answer this question, but here's what I would say. If you're looking for something new or, a fresh perspective or something unexpected, then it's the series you should watch. Something with an open mind, and I would say evening is a good time with a glass of wine, popcorn, and just chill out kind of thing with all the lights off and focus on. That's the mood I would say you can watch this in.
So, what's your favorite, part in this particular series? Is that the storyline, or the characters, or the lead roles, who played this particular thing? So, what's your thing? Which got you glued for long?
Um, Honestly, what got me glued is the human nature because for me it was like, okay, why is someone behaving? Because you doubt every character. There is no character that you hang on with saying, okay, this is who this person is. And that I think kept me going because every time I thought, okay, this is who David is, it twisted and there was another side of David I got to see. And then you feel, okay, I want to just take Adèle's side and sympathize and empathize with her. And then she shows another side of her, and you're like, okay, no, let's go back to Louise. And, probably you want to just connect with Louise and see where she's headed and, so on. So I think that mystery of understanding different facets of who we are and how at times we don't know the entire story and how quickly we come to judgments. I think that is very beautifully portrayed throughout. It's like the moment you trust, you see something else and then you rethink about what you saw. And the perspectives just keep changing every now and then, as I said, until the last second of the series. So, yeah, there's no predictability.
If there is a season two to it, so would you watch it immediately, or would you
Oh,
wait
yeah.
for it?
If there is season two, I would definitely want to watch because the way they ended it was interesting. And I had not read Sarah Pinborough's book until I actually watched the series. So it's one of those where I watched the series and I was like, okay, I have to read how the book has been written, kind of thing. But yes, season two, I would definitely wait for if they're bringing in another part of this.
So, as an author, and you're also coaching authors to write books. So कितना difference रहता है from the time the difference between the story in a book versus a movie or a series or a single episode.
Um, I would say it totally depends on what the director wants and who has done the screenwriting for it. Because the way the book is written, some books I feel are more powerful in the book form, like the Twilight series. I love the book so much more than what I see in the movies because I find the characters are so stronger in the book. Okay, with this one, I'm yet to finish the entire book, but so far I feel that the director has done good justice to what they have created in this series. So yes, there is definitely difference, and it depends on who is doing the screenwriting and have they understood the soul of the book
That's
to
it.
recreate that, to recreate the characters exactly how the author sees it.
Okay. So some of these movies or the series, they don't come into the limelight. They're not in the top 10, suggestions by Netflix or, whatever the OTT it is available on. So how do you get there? How do you, know that, okay, this is a must watch? What's your suggestion for viewers out there? How do you know that this is a good movie? Because they only have an option of 10, top 10 they can suggest, but baki log ke liye to, there are a lot of content out there. I think there are like at least 5 to 10 new contents, whether they're old series, old movies, or the new ones, they get added to these platforms every day. So how do you know, which one, how do you, I mean, any suggestions from your side?
So one, I generally like to go with what other customers watch. Like every series, there's an option where you can see series like these or anything on those lines. So that is what keeps me going. But to be very honest, I feel that as viewers, we don't do enough justice to what we love and watch. Like, how many series have we watched or things that we have seen, but we go on that, like, Netflix is an app which we now watch on our TV. But how many times do we select that option which says review it and
Mm,
we add those stars to it? We don't, right? So that's where I feel that somewhere when that goes missing, some series don't get noticed as much. Like this one, I think I found it only because I love watching all these criminal minded thriller series kind of thing. And so it just pops up into my search. And the search option really, algorithms really do an amazing work. But it's also about people who talk about it. We don't share enough. So that I think if we all can start doing, then it's a good way to give the credit to people who have actually put in a lot of work. And this one, I think, is a developed taste. If you like, because UK series generally are not as much in a bright light and, sunny or snowy and, beautiful looking things. It goes slow and the environment is different and you want to stick on to it because everything that they do is in a very different style. So it's a quiet taste, of course. Um, but if you talk about it, I think it would get the recognition it deserves. So yeah.
so your best scene out of this particular series?
Oh, the last 15 minutes of the series. They just change everything the way I was looking. Like throughout the series with me knowing a lot about, you know, uh, or me believing in like things like power of manifestation and magic and so on and so forth. Somewhere, I feel that okay, what I'm thinking is right, what I'm thinking
Mm.
is right, but there's no confirmation. And when there is a confirmation, there is that twist, and you're like, oh my God, I didn't even expect it. So that last 15, 20 minutes is like incredible. But guys, please don't cheat. Watch the entire series to make sense. Otherwise, I know people, who
Yeah,
would
we'll
just go
directly
like,
get
watch
into
the
the last episode because we have seen the
yeah.
trailer.
So don't do that. Just watch the entire thing.
Cool. So overall review by Snehal for this out of one out of five. I mean, sorry, 1 to 5.
Honestly,
Yeah.
1 to 5. I would still say 5.5. I love it. And I can just binge watch again on this weekend. So
कितने बार
it's
third
I
time you
can
are ready to
actually
binge.
if I love series, I can rewatch. Like there are a few more series that I can watch again and again. Some of them I've probably watched like more than 7 or 10 times, and you won't believe it. Like all seasons. So yeah, and I'll probably watch it again if they come up with season two. Just before season two, just to refresh. The moment the trailer comes out, I'll be like, okay, let me refresh my memory and watch it again. But yes, I would say 5, definitely.
Thank you, Snehal. So yeah, before we end this show, so is there a criminal-minded thriller book that's coming up by Snehal? No, no.
I love watching it because I admire the writers in terms of fiction. I'm so much a non-fiction and fact-based writer that I really love these people who take you into this world of imagination. So fiction is not coming from me for sure until anything changes for me. But yes, I do have few authors who are writing it. So let's hope something is coming up soon.
So all the best to them, and thanks a lot, Snehal, for sharing your review about Behind Her Eyes. So check out who's her in the two ladies out there. But thanks a lot, friends, for watching this. And yeah, do check out this particular series. Check the trailer. I am sure you'll get glued to watching this. So
Yes.
thank you, guys. Thank you, Snehal.
Thank you.